Hey all you cool cats and kittens, Lizzie here, and today we are going to talk about the new book that I got recently by Dr. Peter Breggin, Psychiatric Drug Withdrawal. And the chapter that we are learning about today covers ADHD. Is it truly a diagnosis, or is it just a myth created for teachers? Because it's really exclusively about observed behaviors. ADHD is divided into 3 categories: hyperactivity, inattention, and impulsivity. So Dr. Peter Breggin says that the diagnosis is nothing more or less than a collection of behaviors that cause problems for teachers in the classroom, and that it has no validity in terms of representing an underlying disorder or meaningful syndrome. So that basically the problems, this list of undisciplined behaviors really stems from a problem that's going on at home, or lack of structure, lack of the teacher actually having a good stimulating classroom that can keep children learning well, etc. Okay. I find this very interesting. Alrighty. Okay, so this is something that's very worrisome. So chronic brain impairment in kids that have been diagnosed with ADHD. For several decades, they've been able, and I mean doctors have been able to see atrophy of the brain in children. They've actually been able to do check-ins 30 years later to look at these kids that were on stimulant drugs that they, did tests with to begin with, and guess what? You'd never guess. They're in prison. They're obese. They're having problems. Probably drug exposure went in childhood and all the way up through adulthood. It should come as no surprise that these kids are turning into adults that have issues. The real problem here, people, is that millions of children are being told every day that they have an ADHD diagnosis and that they can't control themselves. To take pills to control themselves. They gotta take pills. That's the only way to do it. And this undermines their normal childhood development, just like every other kid, which primarily consists of progressively learning to take charge of your own behaviors, take control of your own behaviors. And as these drug effects and these polydrugs effects, they add on Zoloft or Strattera or whatever on top. It becomes a cocktail usually. It adds to this brain dysfunction and the child's feeling like they're never good enough. And that they can never have enough control over their own thoughts and feelings and behavior at the core. And I think that's really important. So let's keep the kids off drugs.